fantastic day. Another day to talk about liposuction, getting skinny, changing your life, transitions. So a big thing that my patients are going through is there is a transformation, because when we make these big dramatic changes in your body, you have to start acting as if you are that person, that thinner, leaner, healthier person. And if you don't, then the actions that you take will just recreate the same old problems that you've been recreating for the past, few decades. So when you're ready to change, when you're ready to transform everything, you got to change everything. Liposuction can make a huge dramatic change really quickly and get your fat out of there, get you quick results, get you motivated, get you excited. But you have to pick up the reins and keep running. You have to keep changing your life. You have to keep doing things that are going to improve, because it's the activities and actions that we take today. It's the actions that we take today that will make us who we are going to be in the future. So the future us is begging you, please, make sacrifices, do the things that are necessary, eat the right foods, take the right actions, get active, exercise, be healthy. Because if you don't, what happens? 5 years, 10 years down the road, you develop high blood pressure, you develop diabetes, heart disease. You might have a stroke, you might have a heart attack. All these are problems of lifestyle. But modern medicine doesn't talk about that. They talk about what medications you can take, all the side effects of the medications that you take. They talk about, surgeries that you can get. So they want to solve your problems after the fact, after you've already caused a bunch of crap to your body. And just so you don't have to do anything, they want to just give you just a pill. And most people are like, they're lazy mentally, so it's a mental laziness, because they don't want to do stuff. And so when someone says, you don't have to do anything, just take this little pill, they say, please, give me more. And they hope and they pray that that's going to be good enough. But the problem is many of you are finding out that's not the truth, that you're not exactly getting the results that you're wanting from the traditional medicine, the dietary stuff that they told you to, the surgeries that they told you to get. It's not working. So the question is why. It's a big question that you should be asking yourself. And then the next thing is you got to start wondering, okay, if this doesn't work, if the traditional stuff isn't working, then what do I have to do different? What's going to be different for me that's going to give me different results? And part of that is you're the one that's going to have to answer that, because I don't know what you tried in the past. But I do know this, that if you continue doing the same things that you've been doing, you will continue to get the same results as you have been getting. So when you're ready to make serious life transformations, you have to make serious life changes. Say what's up to some people. What's up, Viviana, Rebecca, what's going on? Wenio Brunner, Mariela, Basie, Mariam, Jesse, Vanessa. She says, I want my fat out. I've tried so hard to get this belly fat off. Well, so liposuction is good for that. Is the fat that maybe you've been having a problem getting off your body, liposuction can get off, and there's no problem with that. It's easy. I've been doing this for 15 years, thousands and thousands of procedures. Getting your fat off your body is easy. Keeping it off you is another challenge. And so that's where we need to talk more about, because getting the fat off is easy. You come up with the money, you come into our office, and we take care of everything. It's gone. Okay, you got to recover afterwards, but the process is a whole process. And you have to start from the beginning. You have to start from thinking about what you're going to do. You got to think about where you want to be after the procedure. What are your goals? What's your reasoning? Why are you doing this? Why would you spend thousands of dollars? Why would you go through all this effort? Why are you doing this stuff? And most people, if your why is simply, I just want to look better, or I don't like this belly, or it's a simple materialistic why, those are very weak, very weak. Because once you accomplish those goals, then you'll have no reason to continue on. And so that's where most people fail. So when you say, I want to lose this weight just to look a certain way, and then you achieve that, the results are short-lived. The excitement is short-lived, You're like, okay, great, I look this way, now what? Now I got to keep doing all the stuff I've been doing for the past year or however it's been, and in your mind you're like, it's not that big of a deal. Why should I give up all the things that I enjoy doing if the results are short-lived? Or better, more so, it's in your mind mentally. It's like when you get a new car, for example, and right when you get the new car, you're like, yeah, you're so excited, it's super awesome, you love it, you're driving around, you're taking pictures and you're doing everything, you're showing everybody, it's so exciting. Then a week goes by, 2 weeks goes by, and it's just another car. It gets you from point A to point B. Okay, it's the same thing with your body. Once you get your Lamborghini, your Ferrari body that you like, I mean, it looks cool, and it, gets you excited for a little while, but the mental excitement wears off. So when I talk about having the reasons why you're doing this, a stronger why in that, like wanting to be healthy, wanting to live a longer life, wanting to be there for your grandkids, wanting to set a good example for the future generations. These are bigger ideas. And when you have bigger ideas, it stretches you and it forces you to do more. And you'll find that when you have a bigger idea, a bigger goal, you'll tend to stretch yourself further and realize that you can go further than you ever thought was possible. And so many of these we'll call them larger girls, bigger girls, whatever you guys like to call yourselves. You don't even you tell me all the time. You say, I don't want to be a skinny girl, as if it's like a bad thing. So you've adopted this identity of this big girl, and because of that, you tell yourself that you don't want to be leaner. And in some cases, that's okay. It's your choice, right? It's free choice, free will. It's your choice. But what I'm talking about is being healthy. And if you live a healthy life and you're, bigger and you're comfortable and cool, that's fine. But if you're bigger and you're unhealthy, you got diabetes, high blood pressure, you're developing autoimmune disease, you have all kinds of inflammatory issues. And, these are issues that are caused by the lifestyle that we're living. And the important thing to realize about this is that because it's caused by the things that you're doing, you can then transform and change. You don't have to keep doing the same things. And this is where the people think it's so difficult to. No, it's not. It's just a strong why. If you want to change and you want to be different, then you will just simply choose different. It's a different path. So people that, if you call yourself a foodie and you wrap your whole life around the identity of food, then you're going to be tied to it, and it's going to be very, 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 very difficult for you to separate yourself because you think that you are the food, and it's, it is part of your life. Okay, but when you change the way that you think and you realize that, hey, I want to live longer for my kids, my grandkids. I want to have a healthy life. I want to be able to get up and down from the ground. I want to be able to sit on the ground and play with my grandkids when they're babies. That's cool for some people, right? I want to be able to climb a tree with my grandkid. I want to be able to go jog. I want to be able to go with my kids' soccer practice and be able to kick the ball around with them. I want to be able to do these little things. This is life. This is life. So how much of that are you missing? How much of that are you missing? And that's the thing that you need to question in yourself is what are you missing by being larger? By the restrictions in motion, the restrictions in ability, the restrictions in simple things, activities that you may want to do. Now, some of you are saying, well, it doesn't restrict me at all. If that's what you believe, then you have no idea how much you're actually restricted. Because it doesn't, I don't care whether you're 5 pounds overweight, 10 pounds overweight, or 100 pounds overweight. The being overweight, it restricts you. It always does. And I've gone from 50, 60 pounds overweight personally to now, say underweight maybe. I'm very lean. And the differences are astronomical in the flexibility, the energy that you have. It's crazy when you're not carrying this 50-pound backpack. And people don't even realize that. I have a friend, one of my good friends. I was just talking to him. He's always been in good shape. He likes to lift a lot of weights, and now he's lifting a lot of weights, but he's 220 pounds, and he's the same height as me. We were always about the same build, same weight. Now I'm about 180 pounds. He's 220. Okay, so we're talking a 40-pound difference. But yet he's big and bulky, and I'm lean and flexible. It's different. And because of that, his knees bother him. He's not able to run. He's not able to do some things that I'm able to do that easily. It doesn't even bother me. I don't even think twice. And I'm just carrying around less of a load. So when you think about the weight that you are versus what you could be, think about it like you're carrying around bricks in a backpack. Like literally. And go put on a backpack that's an extra 20, 30 pounds and carry it around for a day and just see what it's like. That's how restricting it is. It's seriously restricting. All right, let's see if you guys have any questions. So we're talking liposuction, fat transfer, how to avoid tummy tucks. Okay, you want to know how much the cost is. So, we have our generic pricing is on the website, myshapelipo.com. For an area of liposuction, it's $12.99 per area. For smart lipo laser skin tightening, it's in addition to the liposuction, it's $650 per area. And for fat transfer, that process is $2,000 in addition to liposuction costs. So I'm sure that doesn't mean anything to you. It's just generic pricing. And so to get your specific quote, we need to see a picture of you, discuss what your plans are, what your goals are, and try and come up with something that makes sense for you. And everybody will be an individual quote. So in order to get those quotes on Facebook, up on the post here, I've actually put two of our links. We have two links, one for a free consultation, one for a paid consultation or expedited consultation. The free consultation, these are people that are just kind of just looking, kicking the tires, getting the numbers, seeing what it costs for maybe sometime in the future. You're not in a rush. We're booked out a couple months for these consultations. If you're serious and you want to get this done quickly and you want to get your get your consultation done next week or a couple days from now, $100 consultation. It's a paid consultation. It helps you jump to the line, and the cost of the consultation will be taken off your procedure costs when you decide to move forward. What's up, Lorraine? He says you're scared and nervous 2 weeks out. All right, that's cool. Hey, the cool thing is that there's nothing for you to do. All you have to do is show up. You just show up and we'll take care of the rest of the stuff. Just show up. And that's such as life, right? With most things in life, just show up. And if you can get there, you can show up on time, man, a lot of amazing things happen. Rebecca says working out is hard, being healthy is hard, pick your hard. That's right. Nothing's easy. Okay, says I'm changing my ways, better mindset, but when that fat doesn't come off after trying so hard, I want it gone. Well, that's cool, Vanessa. Like liposuction is not for everybody, and I'm not trying to say that it is for everybody, and I'm not claiming that it's a save all, end all, be all. It's one part of a process, and many of our patients have utilized liposuction to get the results that they want, and then it's the hard work that keeps those results. And so a lot of the stuff you'll see here, some of these people have been, years out, and they've been taking care of themselves, and they keep getting better every year, which is awesome. It makes our afters look that much better. Every once in a while, you'll see some people like, oh, I got liposuction 2 years ago, and I'm fat again, and I look the same, and then whatever. I mean, like, that's cool. That's why you're supposed to take care of yourself afterwards, right? And so that's possible, but I can tell you what, the fat doesn't come back. So once we remove the fat does not come back. What happens is we never remove 100% of the fat cells, so there's going to be some fat cells there. And when you gain weight, it's those fat cells swell up. And now the interesting thing is you'll have a harder time putting fat on the area that we treated, and then you'll notice you get bigger in the other areas quicker. Okay. Yes, and Rebecca mentioned, make sure you guys are getting into our private Facebook group. So if you're on Facebook, you go in there and search groups. It's My Shape Lipo Support Group. We have many of our previous patients that are on there sharing their stories, real stuff, real people. You can connect with them there. Okay, let's see what Instagram has to say. Okay, I wish I could get this procedure one day. Victoria, people get what they want and what they work for. If you wish, you want, then you got to start working towards it. You got to start putting things in place. You got to start saving for it. You got to start planning for it. Getting your consultation now, maybe one of those free consultations to just get your number, figure out how much it's going to cost. Then it's about starting to put stuff aside, right? So create a fund for yourself. Maybe you stop drinking Starbucks coffee, or you stop, buying lunch, or stop going out to dinner once a week or something, and put that saved money into a fund, and work towards it. You got to work towards your goals. Okay, where are you located, and how far are your appointments out right now? We're located in Las Vegas, and our procedures, we're at about, I want to say like a month and a half. Okay, one day you'll get this done, Victoria. One day you'll probably travel to Europe, or one day you'll go to the moon or something too. People that speak like that one day will never come. Tomorrow never actually comes, because when it becomes tomorrow, it's today, it's the now. So if you're not working towards it right now, you're likely never going to get it. Okay, how soon can you get an appointment? So for consultations, we have our free consultation. You can get those as they're 2 months out. Our paid consultation, you can get the consultation probably by this next week. For procedures, we're about a month and a half out. But you got to get the consultations first. So that's the first thing you got to. I see we have some Spanish speakers here. I'm sorry, I don't speak Spanish, but we do have plenty of Spanish speakers at our office. You can call the office there, they can help you out. See, Jojo girl, you say, working out doesn't work. Now, I can tell you this, what someone told me, is that you can never outwork out a bad diet. So if you are, doesn't matter, you're running miles, 5 miles, 10 miles a day, eating healthy food. If you're not eating the healthy food, it doesn't, none of this stuff is matters. It doesn't really matter. Your body's not going to, you can't outwork out a bad diet. So, and that also means alcohol. That also means sugar, and that's a big part that people fail on, is they'll say, oh, I'm only having 2 glasses of wine a night. That's 2 glasses too many. I'm sorry. If you're trying to lose weight, you can't drink alcohol. There's too many sugars in alcohol that your body will burn those sugars first before they burn anything else. So, you have to start educating yourself. And if there's reasons why the things that you're trying don't work. There has to be a reason. There's always a reason. And most likely you already know the reason why, but the thing is that you haven't worked it out in your mind to the point where you're willing to make the sacrifices that are necessary. So you got to start thinking about these things. Okay, can you talk about the recuperation after surgery? So after the procedures, we recommend doing lymphatic massages. You want to have multiple options for garments. The garments play a big part in your recovery. We will supply garments, your first stage garments, but you're going to want to start looking for second stage garments, third stage garments, or whatever the case. Many people wear these compression garments for months after the procedure, and it's important to have a good high quality garment, because the garments themselves can cause irregularities. If they put too much pressure in one area, or they fold because they're not rigid, they could cause irregularities that could stay forever. So good garments are very important afterwards. The lymphatic massages will help to reduce the swelling and to reduce that lumpy bumpiness after the procedure. You're going to be draining a bunch of fluid the first few days after the procedure. That's expected, and you'll be swollen, you'll be bruised, you'll be sore. Many of our patients are able to get back to sedentary type jobs within 3 days. I'd say about 85% of the patients are getting back within 3 to 5 days to a sedentary type job. Some people are quicker, it just depends on your motivation. Other people, it takes a bit longer. We do large procedures, so we're doing large volume liposuction, and the larger the volume, the larger the individual, the bigger the procedure. It tends to be more traumatic to the body, and it could take a little bit longer for you to recover. So if you're bigger and you have a tough time recovering from injuries, and things might take a little bit longer for you. Okay, how long do you stay there after the procedure to recover? So we only require, so about 85% of our patients are flying in from out of state. So we require you to stay here for 48 hours afterwards. However, it might be better for you to stay longer. We're trying to make this easy for people, but some people would benefit from staying longer. It's sometimes this can be taxing on your body, and you just never really know what what's going to happen afterwards. So just be prepared for whatever is possible. And 48 hours is recommended, but you may want to consider staying a little bit longer. It's nice to have people here to help you. So we have, again, a massage therapist that we utilize, and if you're coming alone, she's available for hire. But it's nice to have a family member with you just to help out in lifting and things of that nature. Okay, I was told my lower abdomen area is scar tissue from a C-section. So would I need a tummy tuck? Does the lipo remove scar tissue the same way as fat? So I don't do any tummy tucks. None of the patients that I've had have had tummy tucks. However, a lot of them have had C-sections, and many of them have already had tummy tucks. My deal with scar tissue, it's not that big of a deal in most cases. However, it's always possible. Scar tissue is kind of like one of those wild cards. You just never really know what to expect. But you can kind of feel from the outside, a lot of scar tissue will be very dense and tough. And so you'll usually be able to tell if it's going to be a problem. If everything's kind of loose and jiggly, that's a good indication we can break things up and get the fat out of there. If it's really hard and tight, scar tissue, that kind of scar tissue can be a little bit more of a challenge. However, C-section scars are usually tiny and there's not a whole lot of scar tissue, so it's not a big issue. Do you do Zoom consultations? We do the consultations virtually. We use pictures typically. In most cases, there's no need to do a Zoom. It's available, obviously, but it's just a little bit more of a planning. Okay, are your partners to hotels or where to stay? We used to have deals with hotels locally here, but people don't take care of the rooms, so the hotels cancel the deals. So it's not to say that you can't go there, you're just not going to get a deal. And it's not like it was they weren't giving us great deals anyways. It was like 10% discount, so it wasn't a big deal. But instead, we give you extra supplies to help, make sure that you don't damage the hotel rooms and, cause problems, because, you have to end up paying for that stuff. If you ruin the beds, ruin the sheets, get stuff all over the carpet, the person, you'd have to pay for that stuff. So we get you extra supplies. We get you a shower curtain to lay on at night, so you don't cause any issues. But hotels are hotels. How much are the lymphatic massages? That I don't know exactly. I don't, they're not cheap. I want to say somewhere in the range of like $150. We cover the first one for you, so you will get one 24 to 48 hours after your procedure. So that'll be included, and if you don't want any more after that, then that's your choice. And you don't have to use our lymphatic masseuse if you're, obviously if you're from out of state, you want to plan for something when you go back home. So, your local person might be cheaper. Okay. Lynette, you're right up behind me here. Still happy with my results and a little over a year post-surgery. That's awesome. Okay, I see Lorraine and Rebecca are communicating. Rebecca's got her next procedure planned. Okay. Yeah, Monica's talking about maintaining. I think what a lot of people get caught up on is you're trying to do dietary type stuff, you're trying to do exercise type stuff, but you're trying to do this stuff all after you've already caused havoc to your body, after your organs are all full of sludge and toxins. So what I suggest is, before you try any weight loss, anything, get your body tuned up right. So what I mean by that is, look into cleanses and detoxes. Cleanses and detoxes, and that'll clean out your organs so your organs start working properly. The next step is you want to really increase your water intake. And when you increase your water intake, it's like adding oil to your car. It's like it lubes everything up. And when you lube everything up, it all starts to work again. So many of the things that you say, used to work when you were younger but don't work anymore, well, that's because you filled up all your organs with gunk, with garbage, with junk, and now they're clogged up and they don't work anymore. So cleanse out the body, detox the body, and then get all that stuff taken care of first. And that might take a few weeks and a few months, depends how extensive you need to go. But there's detoxes, so start researching that stuff. Okay, do they have one in St. Louis? I'm sure there's somebody that does it in St. Louis, but it's not me. So you can't, you can't expect the same results. So this is not something that just because you do liposuction, you can get these kind of results. That's not by any means. That's not true. So whoever you decide to go to, make sure that you vet them and look into their results. Find out how many procedures they've done. If they've only done 100 procedures, then you might want to question it. There's many times when I have to fix problems from other doctors, and I'll tell you one of the situations when I'm really disappointed is when these new doctors are started trying to do these procedures, and they offer it to their employees or their family or their friends for free, and then they totally jack them up. So just because they got it for free, they thought, anybody's sucking fat, it's just sucking fat, right? Well, as it turns out, that's not true, and you can cause lots of problems. So going to someone with very little experience, even if it's cheap, it's gonna cost you more in the long run, because if you have to pay to get it fixed, it costs more, and it sucks, and it's never easy. So find the right person, get it done right the first time, and it's better to spend a little extra money and get it done right, because then you don't have to pay for it to be done again. Okay. How long before you can fly back home or get on a plane? Typically, we recommend the 48 hours. How much is a BBL? BBLs are going to vary widely on what you have done. So it's liposuction fees plus the fat transfer fees. The fat transfer is $2,000 for that process, but you have to do liposuction, and some. If you have a lot of different areas we need to treat, then it'll be more expensive, and you don't have that many areas, and it'll be less expensive. So I'd say anywhere from $6,000 to $12,000. What about butt injections? The worst idea I've ever heard. Terrible. There was just an article in the news talking about a mother-daughter team in Miami. Was it Miami? Somewhere on the East Coast, and they finally got caught. They've been doing butt injections of silicone into these strippers and whatever girls, and they ended up finally killing some social media person. So it went public, and they ended up going to jail. Mother-daughter team, they're doing they call them butt injections. Well, it's silicone. From my understanding, it was like silicone from Home Depot. Like literally those big tubes, and the ratchet. Yeah. So no. And the crazy thing is it wasn't even cheap. These girls were doing butt injections with this silicone, $14,000 for 3 treatments, and man, it's not good. I've seen where the silicone starts to eat away at the tissue, and it's not once you inject it infiltrate it into the tissue, it goes and it binds with it, and you can't just cut it out. It's not like a silicone bag that you just pull out. It actually bound in with all the tissue, so you have to cut out all the tissue as well if you're going to get it out. So it's bad news. Highly recommend to stay away from those butt injections. Okay, what's the difference between a BBL and a fat transfer? So BBL, Brazilian Butt Lift, is a brand name. It was a name that someone made up, just like how we made up the name 360 lipo. It's just a term, it's a word, and it means liposuction all the way around the waist, 360 degrees. Well, a BBL, Brazilian Butt Lift, is just a brand. That's how you guys refer to the combination of liposuction and fat transfer. So to create the shapes of the butt for the BBL, we do liposuction to carve out and then fat transfer to add volume. So it's a combination of two to get this, the results of what we call the Brazilian butt lift, or BBL. So fat transfer is part of the process. Okay, do you know about collagen injections for the butt, like Volume Clinic in LA? Collagen injections? No. I mean, collagen is a chemical in the skin, or that's a material in the skin that gives the thickness and tightness to the fibrous tissue. Injecting collagen, I've never heard of that, and that's, yeah. What's up, Stacy? I know Stacy's coming in soon. Son Rod Teresa wants to look great in her 40s. 40s is the new 30s. You know, if you start taking care of your body like it was your car, and start changing the oil and improving things, you can get better with age. You can improve with age. You can be healthier with age. You can have more energy in your 40s and 50s. Like, that's possible if you want. But if you start believing those people who are like, oh, I'm just getting old, I can't do things, and that's the way we're supposed to age, like that. And if you start believing that crap, then you'll actually start living that lifestyle where, oh, I just need to pass out on the couch. I'm just gonna, I'm too tired. I'm too old to go out. I'm too old to do this. I'm not strong enough. I'm I can't run, or, I'm embarrassed of, whatever the case. All these stories that you keep telling yourself, those are the things, it's the stories that are stopping you from doing what you want.
You got some questions on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Let's see what we got there. Okay, for a 360, when can someone go back to stay at their home duties? Okay, so 360 lipo, again, it's gonna, we say it's about 3 days to get to like sedentary type jobs. If you're taking care of toddlers and you have a very active job, it might take a little bit longer. Okay, would you recommend taking bromium pills after Lipo 360? I believe bromium is good for inflammation. I'm not sure, but yeah, I mean, it's a supplement. It's probably not going to hurt. Okay, Lily says, I'm coming to you soon. My friend's rooms, Chiefs Airbnb. Okay, that's cool. And how many massages do you recommend? It's not a matter of how many massages I recommend, it's how many you need and how many you want. The massages afterwards they're your choice. You get to choose to do it, or you get to choose not to do it. So what I suggest is, we offer the first one for free. So if you like it, do another one. If you like that, do another one. And if you keep getting results and, to keep improving from it, then get more. And when you feel like it doesn't make a difference anymore, then stop doing it. Okay, when is the pain worse or longer during the procedure, hours later, days later? Everyone's different. Everybody experiences things different. As far as the adits, when should it fully heal? Weeks, months? And again, everybody's a little bit different. We have some of these people, it's weird that some of these wounds, they heal up in like it seems like hours afterwards, where it's closed up, sealed up, and starting to heal already. Then other people, it takes them months afterwards, and they're still having issues with the wounds healing. And so a lot of that may have to do with your nutrition, your body's ability to heal. It's like we do the same things, but why does one person heal better than the other? We just don't know those answers. Okay. All right. Okay, Lynette says, stay active. Just walking helps, and drinking more water. Baby steps can lead to big results. That's a big thing, because it's really, you don't have to do huge things. I mean, eventually you end up doing big things, but you work up to it. So simple stuff like just drinking water, more water. If you can drink more water, you'll start seeing changes in your life. And the exciting thing about it is when you start seeing these little results, you start noticing the difference, that holy shit, what I'm doing actually makes a difference. That's when it gets exciting. That's when you start changing your life. That's when you start transforming. And you start adding bigger and bigger habits. Because all of these things are just habits that you can implement or suffer from. So many of us are suffering from our habits, and they're causing problems in our lives. And all you have to do is change your habits. And a lot of this is recognition. If you can become aware and conscious of your problems, then you can change them. So, the first step is acknowledging you have a problem. I know you guys have heard this stuff before, but sometimes it's like you got to hear it, over and over and over your entire life. Someone's got to beat it out of you. You got to just get this information and start utilizing it. Okay, how long is the recovery time? Everybody's a little bit different. Just got to go through the process, get committed to it. What's up, my friend Omel? Okay, Lynette says, after the surgery, the pain in my knees has lessened and I am able to do more, focus on low impact exercise like swimming. It has helped me post-surgery. So, you'll see that there's going to be so many benefits from this procedure that are outside of the normal. So the normal, what people talk about is like, oh, it makes me look good, I'm in my shape, and that's great, awesome. And you will get those. You're gonna look better. You'll be able to fit into your clothes better. And those are the trinkets, the awards. Like congratulations, boom, you got this. Now you look pretty. But what you don't realize is the health benefits, the changes in your body, the energy that you have, the confidence levels that you have, and that's stuff that you can't really put a value on. It's not. We don't advertise that stuff. It's not sexy to see. We're like, oh great, we got you got lower cholesterol and lower blood sugar. Like that's not sexy. Nobody wants to hear it. But the truth is that that's gonna save your life. That's gonna make the impact, the difference. That's going to keep you happy and healthy. Long into your old age. Okay, I see Rebecca's answering some questions here. Lynette says, Trevor was my sculptor and I had 360 and a BBL. I paid about 11 grand, but it was worth it. And the support group is like friends and family. So there you go. She shared her experience. Thank you for your call. Clarification on pricing. No problem. Lorraine says, I'm going to show up. I'm telling you, it just comes down to that. Because all your fear, anxiety, and all that stuff it's just mental battles that you're going through. That anxiety, that, concern, just show up and think less. Because none of those things at this point make any difference. You're worried about the future that doesn't exist. So just relax. Just relax and breathe. That's all you have to do. Relax and breathe and allow the process to happen. I mean, we've done this thousands of times. Lynette says, don't be scared. Trevor is there for you. Just be honest about your health and if you need more pain medication. We do a pretty good job, I think. Stacy's 2 weeks out, coming up on her arms and back surgery. Okay. What's up, Delma? See, so Delma says, if you get stomach lipo, can you get second time same area, and how soon or how long to wait, and is it safe? So Delma, my philosophy here is when we treat one area, you never have to treat it again. The goal is to get all the fat out the first time and not have to do it again. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now, with that said, maybe there's exceptions possible. Maybe you're much larger than other people, but we do some very large individuals, and they should never have to come back and treat the same area twice. The other thing is that after you get liposuction, if you change your habits and change your lifestyle, then you shouldn't ever have to get liposuction in those areas again. So once we get you small enough, you have to maintain, and if you can maintain, you get the best results. And I'll tell you what, if you continue to lose weight afterwards, it just gets better and better. Okay. Jaiga says, okay, I'm interested. Can we do the consultation virtually? Absolutely. So up in the post here on Facebook, we have 2 links. We have our free consultation link. We're booked out about 2 months on that. And then we have our paid consultation, which you get to expedite it, the consultation, and we'll get you in the next week or so. The $100 fee will come off your procedure costs, and we're booked out now about a month and a half for procedures. So the sooner you get in, the sooner you get your procedure. I see Rebecca's sharing the form there. Lynette says that she felt like she looked pregnant before her surgery. And you know, here's the thing: is that when you feel that way, you're embarrassed about everything, right? Especially the worst case scenarios was when someone confirms that belief. When someone says, "Hey, are you pregnant?" And if you were thinking that beforehand, you're like, "Oh my God, they know," and you're so embarrassed, right? And so now that embarrassment is now everywhere you go. You're wondering, are people thinking that? Oh my gosh, you're looking at me. I got to cover it up. I got to wear baggy clothes, or I got to make it, so it's not embarrassing again. And so that thought process leads you down a different path. One of covering up and fear and anxiety. It's a different path. So when you get liposuction and you feel better about yourself, you're able to travel down a positive path. It's a different trajectory on your life. What's the value of that? I don't know. There is no real value to it. But we're getting you in this position where you're able to move with confidence moving forward in your life. And you're able to feel better about yourself. Feel like you're not pregnant. You're not embarrassed. What's that worth? I don't even know. You guys have to decide. And you know what? If our prices it's not worth it for what those prices are, then you go somewhere else. But here's the thing: is that if you go other places and you don't get the results that you're looking for, then you're going to be upset. And I hate seeing. I've had a couple of patients over the years, and they're like, "Oh, I was too cheap, so I decided to go to Mexico, or I went to Colombia, and yeah, now I didn't get the results that I was looking for. They didn't take out enough fat." And it's not that it's terrible, but they just didn't do a really good job. And so now when they come to me, now not only is it more expensive than it was the first time, but now they already paid the first time and they pay this time. So now it's more than double. And they're paying more than double just because they were hoping to get it for cheap. So you have to work it through your mind of how it makes sense to you. I can only tell you these stories, and maybe you learn from the stories. Maybe you don't learn from the stories. Maybe you talk to some people in our group that have made the same mistakes, and maybe you learn from their mistakes. Or you gotta beat your head into the wall again and get beat down, because some people learn lessons like that way. Sometimes it's just gotta cost you a lot of money. It's gotta cost you a lot of money, and finally you learn your lessons. So stop going after the cheapest way. I did that a lot of my life, and I made a lot of mistakes. And so at some point you start going after the higher quality stuff, because the higher quality stuff is actually cheaper. Believe it or not, it's actually cheaper. I think I told this story a long time ago. My son, we decided to buy him a new bike, and we're looking at expensive bikes, $400 or $500. I was like, nah, the kid's 12 years old. We don't need an expensive bike, right? And so we go to Walmart and we get this little bike. It's $99.99, right? Just under 100. And it seems cool, looks cool. He likes it. It's got flames on the side, like the horn and gears. It was super cool for him, right? So we get this bike home, and he's riding around, and within 3 days, the brakes are broken, the tire was flat, the sprocket broke. The thing just fell apart. So, we went to take it back, and they're like, "No, I'm sorry, it was because you guys used it. That's why it broke." I'm like, no, I was like, the basic, the thing just fell apart. So whatever, we just ate it, right? And then, we decided to buy another bike. But, the point is that, when you go after the cheap stuff, in many cases it's cheap quality. It's not as good as the higher quality stuff. It doesn't last as long. So, maybe you have to get 2 or 3 of those bikes to equal up to the quality or the length of time that you'd be able to use one of the cheaper bikes. When in reality, if you just bought the more expensive bike to begin with, you wouldn't have ever had those problems. So a lot of the headaches that you have, and this is not good enough, the low quality, the issues, there's a lot of headaches in that path. Okay, so sometimes when you know, and I don't even think that we're the most expensive by far. I think that there's way more expensive people on the market, but you know, I think that we're probably amongst the best quality. And the reason why, you know, I don't charge obscene amounts is because to me this stuff is so easy. It's so easy. I've been doing this stuff for 15 years, thousands and thousands of procedures. It's like muscle memory to me. I do this in my sleep, and it comes very natural to me. And so I can't substantiate charging, you know, $30,000 for something that takes me an hour and a half. Okay. Now, granted, I busted my ass for 15 years to have the skills and ability to be able to do this stuff in an hour and a half, but I'm passing on some of the savings to you guys. You know, I've gotten the results that I've gotten it consistently. We've shown this stuff time and time again. There's real people that are backing this up, so you don't have to trust me. You can go talk to the real people. And it's not just one-time results. It happens time and time again. In fact, you know, every week that we're doing procedures, there's more people coming into the group, more people that have got these life-changing results. Every week there's another person posting, I'm 3 weeks out, I'm 4 weeks out, and oh my God, I can't believe the results. It's not just a one-time thing. So if you're serious about change, only if you're serious about change, don't waste my time, because I don't need to help everybody. I don't need your money just to take your money. You know, if you're not serious about changing your life, then it's not even fun for me anymore, because I'm looking to transform individuals. I want these huge, dramatic, oh my God stories like this is badass. That's the kind of stories that I want. And when you get people like this, Chanel, when you get people like her, she makes me look good. And she's motivated, and afterwards she's living her best life. She's eating healthy, she's exercising, you know, she's motivated. Those are the people, they make me look good. You know, not everybody's like that, but she works hard. I worked hard for her, she worked hard for me, and together we make a great team. Okay, let's see if we got some questions here. Okay. Do you take Care Credit? So Care Credit is a finance company we don't deal with. They charge a bunch of obscene fees and they take advantage of people. So we prefer not to work with them. There is another finance company that we deal with. If you go on our website under the finance page, there should be information there, or you can call our office. Okay, I need to get some work done. All right, we can help you. Just get your consultation. Okay, do we need someone to speak Spanish? Yes, we have someone in our office that speaks Spanish, so you just call our office and we have multiple people that can help you out there. Okay, when you're admin, send me more information, please. Elvira, please, if you can message us through Instagram, or if you go to our website, the next step is scheduling your consultation, but if you message us, we'll send you the information for the link for the consultation. Okay, I remember my awake lipo, it was an unbearable pain. And also, everybody experiences things different. It's the weirdest thing is that I do the same thing for everybody. It's the same process, but everybody experiences it differently. And I can't pretend to understand how exactly that works. Why is it that the numbing medication works better for one person and another? I don't understand. Why is it that one person tolerates things much better than another person? I don't get it. So we just do our job and do the best that we can, and you know, we have little tricks and things that we're able to do to help patients out. But some people clearly do better than others, you know. But I'll tell you what, it's not that the procedure itself is fairly short. So if you, no matter what it feels like, if you can push through, you can get the results. And you know, I say this, you know, pain is temporary, glory is forever, and you know, it's a joke, obviously, but you know, whatever you experience from the time of the procedure, we're talking like an hour and a half to 2 hours out of your life, an hour and a half to 2 hours to get results for the rest of your life. Some people believe it's worth it, some people don't, and you get to choose. But you know, either way, we do the best that we can to keep you numb. We use as much numbing medication as possible. and we work together as a team. You know, you just have to let us know how you're feeling, and we work to keep you as comfortable as possible. But I can tell you, the people that are calm and composed and are able to focus on their breath and not focus on the procedure, they tend to do much better. The people that are focusing on the pain, they tend to experience the pain a lot more. So it's a shifting of the mind. You have to shift your mind away from the focus of what's going on and focus on your goals. Yeah, I mean, hey, your experience that you didn't have a good experience with pain, that happens. You know, I've done thousands and thousands of these procedures, so that happens. And it is what it is. You know, we do the best that we can to keep you comfortable. I always put more numbing medication, but everybody experiences it different. Okay, what is a Smart Lipo 360? So Smart Lipo is a laser skin tightening. Smart Lipo is simply a brand name for a laser. The 360 Lipo is a liposuction all the way around the waistline. And the 360 is a laser that we use for skin tightening. Okay, Courtney Crawford. I'm coming alone and have arranged services with Lexi. Can't wait. Good to hear. So Lexi is the woman that does our lymphatic massages, and she is available to help those of you that are coming in from out of town. I guess we just showed Rebecca's pictures. Let's see what's up. Stacy's explaining what a 360 lipo is. Yeah, 360 lipo, you know, as with a lot of these things, you know, words are used to portray ideas. So stop getting so caught up in the words, because it's semantics. You know, like people talk about the different areas of their body that we're treating. It's all semantics, you know, how you define what part of your body, where your problem is. But, you know, a lot of these issues don't really have names for them. So like, what's this stuff called on the side? This, you know, girls call it your muffin top, and this your body starts sagging and hanging in different areas. It's like, what do you call that stuff anymore? I mean, we can make up terms for it, but it's really, you know, we just have to start describing it and communicating, you know, how to treat this and how to treat the problem. But you can see from the results that we get the results clearly. And my goal when we have these larger individuals is to get that fold, that pannus that's hanging down in the front, to get that to go away completely. And if we can get it to go away completely, I think you're going to be pretty happy afterwards. Now, just like a water balloon, when you deflate the water balloon, it always shrinks up in size. But if you've expanded out, you stretched out the skin of that water balloon, when it shrinks up, sometimes the skin looks a little weird. Same thing on our bodies. When we remove a large volume of fat, a significant volume of fat, it shrinks up, it gets smaller. But when that skin comes together, sometimes it may not have the capacity to tighten up and you know, be as tight as it was as if there were no fat before. Now, your expectations are going to play a big part in what you decide to do afterwards. So those of you who were thinking that, you know, a tummy tuck is a great option, if that's what you're thinking, then you may think that cutting away the skin might be a good option. If you think a tummy tuck is a terrible option, and afterwards you're going to be happy with whatever that skin is, and you're going to, you know, just go about your life. Because in most cases, I can tell you, you know, she wasn't running around in a bikini before. She's probably not going to run around in a bikini afterwards, even though she took pictures like this. It's usually not the goal of the individual. The goal is typically to look better in your clothes. You know, that's my patients. You know, if you go to some of these plastic surgeons, they're trying to get like supermodels, and you know, you have to fill out this long questionnaire and have perfect pictures beforehand in order for them to work on you. I don't do that. I take on the challenges. I take on the hardest cases in our society, these very, very difficult cases, and you know, I make it magic. You know, I change their life. I change their life forever, and the ability to do that, it's rewarding for me. So that's what I like to do. Plus size Barbie says, I've been watching y'all for a while now. I lost a little more and I believe it will be beneficial for me. Okay, we're ready for you. Okay, I had 360 lipo on my love handles, and I've changed my eating habits, and I'm still losing weight. Good to hear, Gigi. Okay, plus size Barbie says I've been watching. Now it's the same repeat. Okay. Gigi said she had a great experience and went back for a second time last year. Yeah, so I mean, you'll find that a lot. We have a lot of patients that come back for second, third procedures, and something that when you hear that, you have to realize that they're not coming back for the same areas to be treated. I don't think any of these people that have talked about coming back for second procedures have come back to treat the same areas. I don't remember the last time I've done that, to be honest with you. So just realize that when they're coming back, it's because they were happy with their results, they were happy with the experience from MyShape Lipo, and they're coming back because they trust us. And so that's what you should take from that. And if you're interested in getting this procedure, those are the people that you should talk to. The people who have had multiple procedures with us. Let's see, Jenny S., I have a question. Have you worked on people with medical issues as lupus and type 1 diabetes? Yes, absolutely. We have a protocol that we follow to make sure that people are healthy before the procedure. We do labs and whatever is necessary to get you medically cleared. And so any of these issues like lupus or diabetes, we do the proper labs and pre-op to clear you. And if there's anything that we need to do, like if we need to get with your treating physician to get information to make sure that it's safe for you, then we do whatever is necessary. But in most cases, when your disease is managed, it's usually not an issue. So meaning when your type 2 type 1 diabetes is managed properly and your hemoglobin A1C is down low, then it's usually not an issue. With that said, people like with diabetes, they heal slower, so it's just but you probably already know that stuff. So see, what's the maximum amount of fat you can take out? We try to guesstimate the size of the procedure so we can maximize the amount of fat that we get out in one procedure, so we're not limited. For example, some of these larger individuals that you're seeing behind me, instead of doing 360 lipo all in one procedure, they're so big that we treat only the front of the abdomen first, so we can maximize the amount of fat that we get out. Then we'll come back and do the second round to finish the backside and the sides. So larger individuals, we just have to break it down in smaller. They're not really smaller procedures, but they're treating isolated areas where we can maximize the amount of fat to get the best results. Excuse me. All right. I see Mako's asking about Fajas. Yeah, another good reason for getting in the private Facebook group is that the recommendations that the girls have, you have a lot of people that have been through the same process already. They've had the same problems, and there's a lot of issues, like small issues that some people have, other people don't have. But when you have a larger group, you can source the group. So there's going to be some people that had the same problem that you have, the same issues, and you can at least get an idea of how they managed the problem and whether they were successful at it, or maybe they have some lessons learned, like don't do this. So it's really good to have those people around you. How risky can it be with people with lupus and multiple illnesses? Obviously there's going to be risks in everything that we do. I don't know your specific situation, but these are the things that we do risk assessment. And so we try to determine, where the risks fall, and then what you're willing to risk in order to get the results that you're looking for. So, we always weigh this stuff. Is it worth going in? And ultimately, the individual is the one that chooses whether it's worth it to you. You don't have to get liposuction. You don't have to get your fat sucked off you. It's because you want to get it sucked off you. And if it bothers you enough, then it's worth taking risk. And if it's, it just depends on how much it bothers you and whether it's worth taking that risk. And that can be said with cost as well, right? So it's whether it's, the risk that you're taking, and the value that you're getting out of it, the cost that it is and the value that you're getting, and you have to weigh those and see what makes more sense to you. A couple more questions and we'll be done here. Melanie Delamo says, yes, my mental beating me. I'll be there in 2 weeks. I know it's all worth it. The mental seems to be harder than anything else. Ultimately it's all mental. It's all how you perceive things, how you look at things. And in order to manage things better in your life, it's a lot of it is how you look at things, how you perceive things, the story that you tell yourself about your life, about the situations, in your self-talk. If you tell yourself that you're not worth it, you tell yourself that you're a fat girl, you tell yourself that you're not good enough, then you'll start to believe the bullshit. And it's just bullshit. And you start to believe that stuff when you tell I don't have enough money, I'll never have enough money, I'll never be able to get this, oh, woe is me. When you start talking that nonsense, then you start to believe that crap, and then your whole life is just, it's impacted by the way that you think about yourself. All right. Okay, how about someone who had a history of clotting disorder? So clotting disorder is, it's a risk with any procedure. So, again, it's a risk. I don't know exactly what your risks are with the clotting disorder, how bad it is. Typically, there's doctors, the hematologists have protocols in place that will allow for individuals with these situations to do procedures, and there's blood thinning protocols that we can follow. But again, there's risks, so if you decide to go forward with this, there's a risk involved that it may not work out how we anticipate, and despite whatever actions that we might take, it might not be good enough. And so you have to just be cognizant of the risk that you're taking and move forward, in the know. Okay. Rebecca says she didn't take the pain meds and didn't even need them. See, that's the thing. It's crazy. It's like one person could say it was the worst experience ever. I was so much pain, and oh my God, I couldn't. It was unbearable. And then another person says, I barely felt anything, and afterwards I didn't even really have to take the pain medication, and it was no big deal. So I don't know who's right. Who are you gonna believe, right? And even if you go talk to them, I promise you, both of them will be like, oh, it was so easy. Oh, it was so hard. It's like complete opposites, but who's right? And it's really, it doesn't even matter, because let's say you go in there and your experience is going to be totally different. It's probably going to be somewhere in the middle where it was like, it's kind of uncomfortable with some parts and breeze, other parts. So you're going to be right in the middle. So stop worrying about it, and just, if you decide that you want to do this, you want to change your body, like, this is freaking phenomenal. If you want to take the risk to get these kind of results, this is unbelievable. Look at this girl. She went from looking pregnant to banging porn body here. This is amazing. So, what's it worth it to you? Is it worth it to take some of these risks? Is it worth it to have a little bit of pain? Is it worth it to go through the recovery? That's your choice. The choice is yours. I'm just here. I'm here. I'm here to help change your life. That's it. And if you want me to help you, then get the consultation. If you don't want me to help you, that's cool too. There's other ways you can do. You can try diet, you can try exercise, you can, there's other, things that you can try. You may not be ready for my shape. You may not be ready for liposuction. That's cool. It's, everybody's along their path. But when you're ready, when you're sick and tired of the bullshit, you're sick and tired of feeling the way that you're feeling, you want some serious change, I'm talking some serious change, then schedule the consultation. We have the free consultation, the paid consultation. The paid consultation will help you jump the line and get this done quicker. So it just depends on your level of commitment and how serious you are. But when you're ready, get that consultation, and we're ready to help you. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll be back again in probably a few days. Oops. I'm pushing all these buttons, trying to turn this shit down.